What's going on? This is another little piece from this little book this Cochise book right here. Look, Bascom watched their tall leader. He saw the long muscles ripple under the copper skin as Cochise advanced with panzer tread of the Apache. Behind Cochise, one of the Indians carried a crude white flag on a stick. Sergeant Bernard held flap aside and motioned for the Indians to enter Bascom's tent. Cochise glanced at the white flag and then at the Bascom, and he looked curiously at the watching soldiers. Then he nodded and went into the tent, and the other Indians followed and sat in a circle on the ground. John Ward and Antonio, the interpreter, went in, and next Bascom waited for a moment, and then he spoke softly to the Sergeant Bernard. Have the men surround the tent. But Lieutenant and Sergeant Bernard, Cochise came here under white flag. We're in honor bound to respect it. What is honor to an Apache? Snapped Bascom. Surround the tent. And he turned and went inside. For a long moment, Indians and the white men looked at each other silently. Then Cochise said a few words to Antonio. Cochise says that the white captain is welcome, and said Antonio, but why does he come here with soldiers? None are needed. Cochise himself keeps the peace. Bascom's lips curled and said, he told Antonio say that this man has lost a boy and his cattle. Wait, hold up. Cochise or his people have stolen them. See, that's just like the black dude. The black dude stole the van on Goodfellas. They will return the cattle. They will return them at once. As Antonio translated, all friendliness left Cochise's face. Tell the boy soldier, he said, that the Pinal Apaches may have done this thing, not the Cherokee. They are at war with the white men. We have been at peace for many years. We have not killed. We have not stolen. When the other Indians have done so, we have punished them. We will help you now to get back what you have lost. And then Bascom glanced at Ward, the rancher, and was glaring at Cochise. And then Bascom turned his back to Antonio and tell Cochise that I say he lies. Cochise's face might have been carved from a rock of his own mountain. Cochise lie? No man, white or red, ever dare accuse him. Tell Cochise that when he will be my prisoner until he gives up what he has stolen. Cochise was on the feet in a single bound. His words exploded. Cochise does not lie. He towered over the startled Bascom, and now he whirled away a long knife that was in his hand. And Cochise is no prisoner. And he leapt to the wall of the tent in one sweep. The knife split a long gash in the canvas, and he plunged through the torn tent and through the ring of soldiers that surrounded it. First shots of the startled troopers went wild. Cochise ran up the steep hillside. A bullet clipped the skin from his side. Two others stung his thighs. He ran on. He reached the edge of the forest and disappeared. One of the other Indians leapt from the tent to follow him, and a bayonet pinned him to the ground. No others tried to escape. There'll be trouble now, said Sergeant Bernard. Right here, this is look, this was also documented in the Geronimo Chronicle that Cochise, when the Americans invited him to a peace treaty, he went in the frickin' tent, and then they tried to surround it, and he whipped out a knife, cut a hole in the tent, and booked off running half naked. And that's the ability to sniff out a frickin' trap. You know, I've had situations like that where I've had to cut a hole in the side of the frickin' tent and dip with the knife in my hand like that. That's that ability to sniff out a frickin' trap. But there's the elements of that in there. He's like, hey, why you got all these soldiers here? That's kind of like when Judas came to Jesus and he was like, what? You guys come to apprehend me with swords and staffs like I'm some kind of frickin' terrorist? And I'm just a dude, basically, I'm just out here preaching. Shoot. And you're coming at me with, like with these guys in the back there waiting for these guys all in ambush, lying in wait for blood of the innocent. But see, what happened with Cochise right here is like, look, any man of honor, if he gets called into a meeting with another party and he doesn't show up, then he's a coward. But if they have treachery when he gets there, they can freaking ambush him. So this was a true man of diplomacy right here, and I want to keep saying that. It's expressed that Cochise was a very diplomatic, like, and a very like considerate man for it. Not only his like he was very considerate of everything he did. He was like a real chief or leader to his people, man. It's pretty awesome book right here.